Day before travel day, before the Texas Legends duel. So coming on here live, folks. You know the drill. Siteman Softball Podcast. A lot to discuss today, my friends. A lot to discuss today. We got tournaments. We got snacks to discuss. We've got Siteman Pure Bat update to discuss. Okay? So let's share here. Make sure we're sharing to a group. There we go. No, not a group. Send a messenger. You think I know this after 80 episodes, right? Here we go. Boom. All right, sending it into the Siteman Pure group chat. And what's up, Mr. Drew Rogers? How are you? Coming on here. Tomorrow, it's always chaotic when you leave town. Always chaotic when you leave town. Today being Tuesday, travel day Wednesday, tournament starts Thursday morning. And then I got extra fun because I come home, Sunday, and then 36 hours later, Marcy and I are taking a little trip. So a lot of travel here coming up. I'm trying to lock down and plan the next 2 weeks, which is not the easiest thing in the world. But hey, such is life in the big city, if you will, right? Good problem to have. So I'm going to officially start this episode here in a hot second. I see a lot of people are coming on here live. Make sure you can hear me, say hi, all that kind of good jazz while we're on here, and we're going to get at it. A lot of things to discuss today. Texas Legends preview. Snacks. Why do I feel like talking about snacks? I don't know, because I'm hungry. And we're going to also talk a little bit about some updates on the Siteman Pure Bat. Drew Rogers got the LMNT. I like that. That's what I like to hear about. We'll talk about that soon. All right, so let's just jump into it, get rolling. This is episode number 80 of the Siteman Softball Podcast. I'm your host, David Siteman Garland. This is the Texas Legends preview, what's in my snack bag, and Siteman Pure Bat update. So we are live here Tuesday, April 25th, heading out tomorrow, flying into Dallas. The Texas Legends duel starting on Thursday morning in Dallas. And boy, it looks like a whirlwind. There are 38 teams, and it's going to be craziness. So lots to discuss coming in here. A few reminders as we get going. At Siteman Softball on Instagram, sitemansoftball.com/podcast. You can find all the past episodes, audio, video, all that kind of good stuff. Siteman Softball Nation on Facebook. And also a big thank you to the Siteman Cancer Center, as always, for their sponsorship. And now let's talk about the topic of the week. The topic of the week is brought to you by our good friends at U.S. Bank Private Wealth Management. Our professionals have the experience and insight to value you as a partner, will help you work towards your financial goals with creative, customized strategy and expert advice every step of the way. Visit us at usbank.com/private wealth, equal housing lender, member FDIC. All right. So Texas Legends is on the clock. I don't know why everyone likes to say that in the softball world. Why do they do that? Who started that? Where it's like X is on the clock or whatever it is. I don't know who started that. It's a little weird. But heading out tomorrow morning. Already getting pre-hydrated for it. Texas Legends. Now let's talk a little bit about this here. Going into it. First ever duel at the Texas Legends. Last year it was just a single conference event. And not only a duel this year, but, 2 duels in 3 weeks. It'll be very interesting to see how teams come in and how teams come out of this duel. Knock on wood, we're coming in healthy. First tournament, Jagger got a little banged up, the hamstring, but, we've been massaging it daily or whatever we needed to do, so he's good to go. David Bear returns from knee surgery. He's good to go. So we will have the full roster ready to roll down in Texas for Siteman Pure. So that's going to be exciting, some moving parts there. 38 teams, 20 states. And we start with duel number 1 is going to start on Thursday. And we've got, in our first game, we've got Bay Area Legends A. So A versus A in that game. So that'll be 12 home runs. Now, what's interesting about this, for those that don't know, trying to figure it all out, the seeding is now based on points for 2023. For Vegas and Florida, it was based on points for 2022 in classification. Now it is based on points only. And when that happens, like it did last year in Texas, some people get better situations than others, right? Here's an example. Monsta, who is, a top 4 team, right? Hard to argue against that, right? Definitely a top 4 team. They're seated a little bit lower because they don't go to Vegas each year, right? So we actually were the victims of that last year. Monster was seated like 8 or 9 or 10 or something. We played them in the first round last year. So you get some kind of crazy stuff going on here. Example that we're facing another A team in the first round, and that even though we're kind of spread apart on the seeding, so it's really, I don't want to say luck of the draw. That's not what it is. Obviously, it's performance based, but early on the season, after just 3 potential tournaments, it definitely causes a very interesting dynamic when it comes to seeding, to say the least. Okay, so we start at 9:20 a.m. Central on Thursday versus Bay Area Legends. Now, I believe there's one complex. You got the kind of the basic major 4 fields there, and then there's where the women's are playing, and then there's 2 more fields that the men's are playing on that have longer dimensions. So I think it's more baseball field-ish dimensions, and I think we're playing there for our first game. Can anyone correct me on that? The field is called, I'm just going by initials here, PATS, so Pats ARL field. I think that's one of the more baseball fields. I spoke to Stroh, though. He said that, it's not crazy like big like Florida, but it is big. But the Pro M ball should be fine on that field. The bases are supposed to be about 5 feet back. So we'll see how that all goes. But that is the plan. I believe our first game is on the bigger field. Now, if I'm wrong, let me know. But that's what it says. Pats ARL is the first field that we're on. 9:20 a.m. for duel number 1. Now, what's interesting about this duel is that it's even more crazy compact than Florida because there's less fields. You're dealing with less fields. You're only dealing with less fields and more teams, which equals chaos, right? And I mean that in the nicest sense of the word chaos, good chaos, right? So less fields, more teams, some very interesting game times. Okay, we are on that bigger field, all right? Good news, no matter how good or bad we do, we don't end up with one of those 7 a.m. games. There's a 7 a.m. game Saturday morning for about 8 or 10 teams, and God bless you for that one. But we are not possible to get anywhere close to that, which is good. So duel number 1 starts 9:20 a.m. for us on Thursday. Duel number 2 begins at 5:15 p.m. Central Friday for us, okay? Very different than Florida. In Florida, our first game of the second duel was 10 p.m. This one's 5:15 p.m. So, again, more compact. Got to be ready to go. Now, one thing I can tell you, we will be prepared and ready to go. Learned a lot in Florida, learned a lot about what we have, and I said this on the podcast after Florida, just giving the honest opinion, wasn't good enough. But we saw glimpses and parts of games and maybe an entire game, partially a game, where you could see what we could do when we put it together. And I think you're going to see us really come out flying here in Texas, and looking forward to it. So duel number 2, 5:15 p.m. Central with the Battle of Pure. We've got Siteman Pure versus Roof X, which is a AA team, and that's on the FUT field. The FUT. So we'll be on that one for duel number 2. So, for those that have not been down to Texas before, what I really like about the Texas tournament, it's one of my favorite ones, for sure. It might be my favorite. I think the atmosphere, especially that main quad, is just awesome. A lot of energy in there. Sometimes you get energy at conference events, sometimes you don't, depending on what's going on and where it is and how many teams and how spread out, and are there local teams or they're not. But Texas brings the energy. So it's got a great atmosphere, a lot of fun to play at, and that's one of the ones I'm looking forward to most this year for sure. Live streams, of course, uSSA.com will have all the live streams of the games. The bracket link I put up in a post on my Facebook at facebook.com/David Garland. We've got the amazing Jessica is going to be rocking the ball clubs at. We got that all figured out. I figured it would take a tournament or two. A few people had to figure out, we got a few people figuring out swings. We had to figure out, the ball clubs app. That was what Florida did. Now I think we're going to have it all together. Our swings, the ball clubs app will be ready to go for Texas. So Jessica will be doing the ball clubs for us. Mr. Tyler Irvine is saying FUT is futures. Okay, got it. So we'll be on the futures field. Ryan Richardson, Arlington Stadium baseball field. And Ryan, I know you'll be playing in this tournament as well. What's your team called? Big Apple, I think it is. Let me know about that. And Tyler, we'll see you in your stomping grounds as well down there. Will be fun. And also, we've got Sam Franklin in the house from ZC Photography, getting some more shots of us. So we'll be sure to be in hair and makeup, ready to go. But this is, Ryan Richardson, Big Apple NYPD. Okay, that's your team. Awesome. Very interesting bracket, though. Let me pop it up here for you guys. Take a quick look at it, and then we'll roll on here. Let me share screen. Allow. There we go. Here's us. Let's scroll down. We are Texas Legends Duel number 1. Game Center. Men's Duel 1. Bracket 1. Here we go. So you can see here, I mean, what's interesting is there's three major teams in one part of the bracket and one in the other. Our part of the bracket, which is the top part here, features one major team, Rismondo. The bottom's got the other 3, which is very interesting as well. But you can see here that one thing to note is if you're looking at this, I don't know why Roof X is in blue. They should not be in blue. Red is conference teams. Blue is non-conference teams. So you can see we got Menace, Future Ones, Big Apple, Infinity Contractors, VSSI. Is there one more? No, that's it, coming in as the non-conference teams. You also have a lot of B teams in the conference making their season debut here. A lot of them and in fact, possibly all of them are in those play-in games that begin at 8 a.m. On the very first day of the tournament. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it all plays out. I mean, again, it's based on amount of conference teams in a tournament. So this tournament has more points than Texas. More points than Texas. I'm sorry, more points than Texas. More points than Florida. More points than Florida because there are, I believe, 3 more conference teams here than there were in Florida. So there will be more points at stake here. Very, very important. Here's duel number 2. They just flip a few seeds around a little bit in duel number 2, just, so you don't have the same first round matchup. But a lot of the second round matchups are very similar, if not the same, which is very interesting as well. So that looks like duel number 2 starts at, well, it's kind of weird. There's one game at 9:45 a.m. on Friday. That's interesting. But most of them start in the early afternoon on Friday as well. So that's the plan here with the duel. Let me go back here. Little quick look at the bracket. Appreciate the well wishes, everyone. Brandon, I do look forward to Tyler performing karaoke adjacent to the field. That'll be great. Make sure you get some speakers going with that. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Again, at these tournaments, there's a lot going on. I'll try to fire some updates when I can on Facebook, but make sure to follow along with that as well as we roll into this one. So another fun thing I wanted to discuss today, I was packing up, and it's always like I feel like I pack up my whole house for these tournaments and take them with me. But someone was asking me the other day about snacks and things that I bring. So big thing that's changed my fitness and like everything this year, my energy levels. I've been going more kind of keto mixed with carnivore, the way that I kind of eat. I really don't eat too many carbs anymore. And that's made a huge difference. I'm actually, since January, I'm about 14 pounds lighter, but feeling way, way better, stronger, faster, all that kind of good stuff as well. So someone's asking me about some of the things that I'm bringing with me on the trip. And I said, you know what? I will grab them because I literally am going to be packing them behind me, show a couple fun things I got. All right, number 1, critical. Boom. Got to have the beef jerky, okay? Tillamook beef jerky. Like, no sugar in this baby. Now, I would not recommend eating this on the plane. I'm not going to be that guy eating jerky on the plane and getting horrified looks from everybody else on the plane. This is more like once you arrive and you're in your rental car situation type of food. But got the Tillamook beef jerky, no sugar, lots of protein, delicious. Going to be bringing with us. Boom, that's item number 1, okay? Item number 2 is a little bit of a weird one, but all right. It's these, we found these in Florida, and now I'm addicted to them. Just the cheese. Just the cheese. And guess what's in there, guys? You're not going to believe it. Just cheese. Got these things off of Amazon, but you can also get them at stores, wherever. Great little snacks, emergency snacks when, you're not want to eating a bunch of carbohydrates, which I don't. So that's got aged cheddar. There's a grilled cheese. This one's jalapeno. Throw them in my bag. They don't melt because they're like very crispy and crumbly. Again, might not be maybe I'll do that on the plane. I'll just get crumbs everywhere. But another great emergency snack for the road. Okay. Big thing for me is, over the past year, just feeling so much better when going to softball tournaments in the past. I always kind of just would eat fast food and things like that. I don't really eat that at home, but like on the road, it would just feel like crap. So I try to really bring some stuff here to limit that. Then I got another one here. This is interesting. I'm still not 100% sure on this one yet. If this is like, do I love it or do I hate it? I'm not 100% sure. This is called Keto Chow. I got the sample guide of this, and basically it's a keto-friendly protein shake that you can add some fats to if you want, and you can throw it in your fridge overnight, and it makes it really nice. This is the salted caramel. I haven't tried that one yet, but I'm bringing those with me as well. That's like a good emergency situation, especially if you're up early, want to get something going. Then I've got my liquids, right? My other liquids. This is the big one. Drew Rogers knows, because Drew Rogers consumed a lot of these on the last tournament. Now we're all addicted to them, and I've got some in here right now. Here's what it is. LMNT, baby. LMNT. If you don't have these babies, are you really hydrated? The answer is no, my friends. LMNT. Now, if you don't like salt, you're completely screwed with these. But if you do need salt and electrolytes and do not mind the taste of salt, this is the gold standard. Not cheap, gold standard, though. We had so many of these that we consumed in Florida that Drew overnighted some. Thank you, Lindsay, for us for the last day of the tournament because we ran out. So got these. I'm going to hide them, though, from some people, but Drew's got plenty, guys. So, take Drew's and then take mine. But the LMNT, I just throw these in a water bottle like this. Makes a big difference when you're out there. Then something that I've been talking a lot about here on the show, actually last week did a separate video about this, was my favorite energy powder. No sugar, no carbs, nothing like that. This is Pineapple Mimosa Early Bird Cocktail. So this is what I love for caffeine. And what's interesting, this also mixes extremely well with LMNT. I call that a DSG cocktail. Is this plus LMNT mixed in a bottle, okay? Early Bird Cocktail is a very, very good product in terms of a clean energy source that doesn't make you really crash, doesn't give you the jitters. I love throwing this in there. I drink a couple maybe per day at a tournament mixed with LMNT just to add some extra hydration on that. If you want to try this one, you guys know I got a hookup for you on Early Bird. If you go to dsgrecommends.com/pineapple, dsgrecommends.com/pineapple, and enter the promo code Siteman, you'll get a nice discount off of that. I know a lot of people from the show have gotten that. You could also go to clubearlybird.com, clubearlybird.com, and you can see more of the products. Enter promo code Siteman, get a discount on that as well. But I'm a big believer in this company because they make you feel good, and that is a good thing, right? The other thing I bring, last thing, then we'll talk a little bat and wrap it up here. This is Early Bird Nightcap. Early Bird Nightcap. So I drink about 1.5 scoops to 2 scoops of this before bed every single night. It doesn't knock you out. It's not like a medicine or something like that. But what it does is helps you really sleep. I mean, it keeps you in like a deep sleep and waking up better. I know it's made, again, giant difference for me. I was very sort of skeptical when I saw this one. I was like, I don't know, what's this really going to do? Am I going to wake up tired? But it's got, you'll see the ingredients. They're listed right on there. But like it's magnesium, zinc, some other stuff that I can't pronounce. But only a few ingredients on this one. And I find this is a no-brainer. I drink it about 30-ish minutes before bed every single night. Huge difference in sleep. Again, you want to check out the Early Bird products. I am a huge proponent of them. ClubEarlyBird.com also has the nightcap on there, and you can grab that and you can bring that down there. I also just got the Early Bird gummies as well as an energy thing, but make sure to use Siteman promo code when you do that. So I feel like half my bag's basically softball clothes, gym clothes, and then snacks. Got to have the snacks, because otherwise, if you don't have the snacks, you end up eating like McDonald's at 2 a.m. or something. So try not to do that. We're trying to be healthy on trips, right? Nothing against McDonald's, but we're trying to be healthy. Oh, Brian's saying Just the Cheese was on Shark Tank. That is good to know. Brian, interesting. Back in the day, early days of Shark Tank, kind of the first 2 seasons of Shark Tank, I was hosting my business show, The Rise to the Top. That's what I started in 2008 with that show. And interviewed, let's see, who did I interview from Shark Tank? I interviewed Barbara Corcoran. I interviewed Damon John on a podcast there at the time, a blast on the early days of it. Great show. If you have a business, it's just it's a great show to learn a little bit about business on that show. So good point on that, Brian, as well. All right. Final subject matter, but not the least at all. We're not ending with the least, possibly the most, right? I've got I know it kind of sounds funny, tentative update, whatever that means, for the Siteman Pure Bat. Okay, I've got an update. I'll have a very concrete update for you next week, okay? But here's what I can tell you, that we are going into production very, very soon with the bat, and pre-sales are going to begin in about, give or take, and again, don't quote me 100% on this, because, the world of bats can sometimes ebb and flow, but pre-orders are going to begin in about 5 weeks for the Siteman Pure Bat. The ASA model, the 12-inch U-Trip, and the 13-inch U-Trip all will be available for pre-order. We're going to have, not only we're going to have special discounts and promo codes for you, but we are working on a really cool bonus for everyone that pre-orders a bat. And we'll talk about that as we get closer. But trust me, this is a bonus that is well worth just getting a bat for the bonus as well. So we are close to that, and then they're going to deliver 5-ish weeks after that or so. So we are kind of in that, I don't want to call it 10 weeks zone, but we're kind of in there. And we're going to get this out with a bang this summer. Going to be the hottest product of the summer, no doubt. Coming out is going to be the Siteman Pure Bat. We'll have the specs for you. We'll have everything like that over the next few weeks as we start to get ramp up for the pre-orders, also getting them in the hands of all the Siteman Pure players. We'll get to swing these babies, check them out, get the graphics going on it. And again, a percentage of proceeds from every single bat is going to be going directly to the Siteman Cancer Center. For this first quarter that the bat is released, we'll talk more about this soon. So the first 3 months of the bat, we're going to dedicate it to the Patient Care Fund at the Siteman Cancer Center. And what the Patient Care Fund does is they do a variety of things, but the most, relevant, most important is they help people get to treatment and appointments that have no other means of transportation. So, obviously terrible to be going through cancer and all that stuff. So you can only imagine the stress added if you can't get to your appointments, right? So the Patient Care Fund helps people get there so that transportation is not an issue. So we're going to be donating proceeds from the bat going directly to the Patient Care Fund at the Siteman Cancer Center. We're going to do that for the first 3 months of the bat being released. And then we're going to give to different parts of the Siteman Cancer Center every quarter thereafter. But you're not going to want to miss the pre-sale on this baby. When it comes up, obviously I'll be keeping you posted on the show. The Siteman Pure players will be keeping you posted. It'll be all over social media. But I want you to know that we are very close to putting those dates in and getting rolling with it. So keep an eye out. Buy a few. I've already heard people saying that they're going to get one to swing and maybe one to put up on a wall. I love that idea as a collectible. But very cool stuff. And there's going to be a really cool bonus coming as well. I'm not going to tell you what the bonus is. Give you a little time. Let you think about the bonus as well. We really want it to be an autographed Jagger Harjo 8x10, but he's tough signing nowadays. He's a very, very popular player. Very tough to get him to sign anything right now. So, maybe in the future. All right. So that, my friends, wraps it up here. All the topics I want to cover here going into the Texas duel. Going to be ready to go. One thing I do want to note for those of you here at the end of this episode, next week, because I'm going to Mexico early Tuesday morning, I'm going to do a Monday special edition of the Siteman Softball Podcast right after the tournament. So I might be really happy. I might be really pissed. I might be sore. I might be agitated. Might be tired. Don't know what you're going to get. Might be a little manic. We don't know. But I can tell you that that episode is going to be happening next Monday. Okay, so make sure to tune in for that as well. Let's see, wrapping it up again. Siteman Softball Nation on Facebook, at Siteman Softball on Instagram. You can see some of the latest videos we put up with Luke Boyster's walk-off home run down in Florida. SitemanSoftball.com/podcast. You can see all the archives. You can see all the ways you can subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. A big thank you to the Siteman Cancer Center and also U.S. Bank Private Wealth Management. All right, my friends. I will see you soon in Texas. Come up, say hi. I don't bite that much. Okay, see ya.